What's going on YouTube? Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Dean and this is Woodwork Journey. Let's try and stand up for a little bit for a bit of exercise and throw the walking stick on the floor. Should we do that? Right, let's get into it. So we're doing a little bit of a vlog for a change today. I thought that might be interesting. Let you guys know what's going on and what's happening. I'm not sure if the channel is big enough for vlogs, but if you enjoy this, please do give me a sub and let me know in the comments whether you want to see any more of this kind of content as well as the builds and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to be covering a few things on this one. First of all, I want to ask your opinion about tool brands. Now, I know this could be particularly explosive in the comment section, but I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'm hoping to get some info from you guys once I tell you what sort of thing I'm looking for. Then I've got notes here, by the way. Then I'm going to let you know what's happening with the Can a Woodworker Make Money series. I'm going to look at your favourite type of videos and build videos. Why are my videos longer? And I'll give you some more thoughts about that one, and also what's coming up. So hopefully we'll get a fair whack of information that we can go through on this one, and hopefully, yeah, it should all be pretty interesting. Can you see my little Woodwork Journey sign up there? I hope so. Anyway, right, I'm not entirely sure this is recording. I think I am, but yeah, I've not got my normal stuff on my screen, but fingers crossed we are. Right, let's get going. First of all, I am going to just let you know what's on the bench, what I've been doing. It's not this. This is a little a router jig. So you've put this edge up to the line that you want to route out, and then you flick that back, and the space between here and the blade is the same as that, so it routes along exactly where you want it to do. I've used this today because I've made basically, or me and my dad made basically a bigger version of this, which will work for his circular saw. He's got an Evolution circular saw, and it saves him having to go out and buy a track saw, because it's something that he can put down, measure up to get on the line, and then flick the top back, and there's enough space there for the pad or the base of his circular saw before it gets to the blade. So if you want to see any more about making these kind of things for either routers or circular saws, please do let me know and we can sort that out. Okay, one question that I want to ask before we really get into this one is, I've been doing something that I thought was pretty interesting. Now, I have got a very sheltered existence, so my interesting may not be the same as yours, but where I'm at the moment is, see this. This is laminate flooring, and this is, I think it's 12 mil thick. Now, what I've done as a tester is actually see if these can stick together just with normal Titebond 3, and it is surprisingly strong. In fact, let me just whack that with a hammer. Right, so you can see what I'm going to be doing. Let me just move off the French cleat that holds my chisels in place. Why is that not coming off? There we go. There we go. Makes things nice and easy to move around, and taking them all off one at a time and putting them back on is a nightmare. Anyway, so this is just glued, like I said, with Titebond. It's just 8mm laminate flooring. It's not like all proper oak or anything like that. It's composite. And let's give it a hit. Okay, so that was a fairly decent hit on there to split that apart, but I'm quite impressed with how strong that was. Now, what I've also done is I've got two screws, a screw there and a screw there, and we're seeing how that goes. And that again feels really solid, and I've tried pulling it out. So like if it was MDF, you can sort of pull the screws out because they don't tend to hold very well. And are my glasses hitting the microphone? Let me take those off. But yeah, it feels pretty solid because it seems to dig in better than it does with MDF. So we're good. This brings me to my first question for you guys. I think that I can make more stuff with laminate floor, and the reason I say that is because the exorbitant cost of wood at the moment is crazy expensive, but you can often find laminate flooring on Marketplace or wherever you get sort of second-hand stuff, because people rip it up and change it out and all that sort of stuff, so you can often find it for free. Now if you can get this for free and you can make some cool things with it, it's got to be worth the go, isn't it? I made a little PPE cupboard a while ago with some flooring, and it's worked out perfectly fine. So let me know if you want to see like making things like cupboards or boxes or whatever with this stuff. Granted, it's not wood on a woodworking channel, but same principles apply, you know? So yeah, let me know about that one. Right, let's go for the next subject. This is the part that could be somewhat contentious and cause some discussions in the comments, but I hope it does because I really want your feedback on this one. So normally I have been using this Erbauer stuff, which has been pretty good. I've had this pretty much as long as I've been woodworking, which is, you know, less than a year, and it's not skipped a beat. It's been absolutely fine. However, now I'm getting a bit of a weird thing where I don't know whether the very end bit of a drill should spin, but it spins, and quite often kind of does a no, it's not going to do it now, is it? It does a weird kind of noise and clicky thing, and it doesn't really kind of work as it should, but I mean generally the drill and the impact driver still does a fine job, and for the money I think these are really good, and also add to that Screwfix's returns plan. I think it's awesome. However, I can't get everything that I want from Erbauer. And oh, I did read the other day that Evolution are bringing out some tools, and they're also going to be working on the same battery platform as the EXT stuff, which I thought was pretty interesting. Anyway, moving on. I use a drill, impact driver, a circular saw, a grinder, and well, I'd like to use a nailer. I don't use a nailer at the minute because I've got a crap Parkside one and it's awful. And a router. And I think that's pretty much most of the tools that I tend to use, sort of the hand tools. And I need to go cordless. I really need to start thinking about doing that, because whilst I've got a couple of them on Erbauer, everything else I have, jigsaw, saw, circular saws, track saw, whatever else, is all corded. Now, as someone that has problems moving around, it means that it's dangerous because I can clip over the leads every 5 seconds. And also I'm a clumsy bugger sometimes and forget to move leads out of the way, and have escaped death on multiple occasions by electrocuting myself off tripping fuses in houses. But anyway, so from a safety point of view, I really want to go with more sort of 18-volt battery power stuff. So because I would like to use the same platform for everything, so I don't have to have multiple chargers, I would like your impact about your favourite brand that will cover a nailer, impact drill and regular drill, obviously, or impact driver and drill, a grinder, did I say the nailer? I think I did. A jigsaw, a circular saw, and anything else that you find deeply helpful. But those are the things that I want to use more of. And I know there's a bunch of brands, but I do have to be aware of cost. I don't have the money to go into and buy everything at the moment, but it's certainly something I've got to look into moving forward. Now, I have seen a lot of kind of Ryobi stuff and what have you, but I'm thinking, because I want to go and purchase them from a retailer like ITS or Screwfix, or, you know, someone like that, who's got a decent returns policy, then I want to, if things go, you know, pear-shaped, then I want to do that rather than buying directly off a website, because I have heard, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, and please do correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I've heard that sort of contacting Ryobi with problems can be somewhat of a pain in the bum. Don't know if that's true, and I don't have experience with it, but that's what I've read online. And people do tend to say negative things online more than they say positives, but I would love your feedback on that. But I'm thinking it's unlikely to be Makita. I'm thinking possibly DeWalt or Milwaukee or Hikoki. Something like that. I think I'm going to do a rag and bone brain and create a spreadsheet of costs for everything that I want to use. But I would love to know your opinions and, you know, which brands do you use? Why do you use them? Have you found any of those brands have got some great tools and some not so great tools? Because a lot of them tend to, you know, can't hit all bases. So yeah, please do let me know what you think is great in the comments down below and why. That's the important thing, not just, oh, Makita's the best. I want to know why. Next, we've got what's going on in the Can a Woodworker Make Money series, and that is something I am continuing with, but I've had to sort of make a few bits and pieces here and there that have contributed to how I'm going to be producing things in that kind of respect moving forward. So that's why I haven't posted any videos directly related to that or obviously related to that. Plus, I've noticed that a lot of kind of build videos and things where there's multiple episodes kicking over tend to get lower and lower and lower with views. I just did my Titan planer thicknesser videos, and when it came down to doing those, I had a great time doing it. I learned a lot, and I think I was able to share a lot of information, and it certainly made the product better at the end of the day. However, I did notice those views dropping down, and I think that's because once people have got a general flavour from the first one, they're like, well, yeah, okay, it'll work at some point, and then that's that. But do know that I haven't forgotten about the Can a Woodworker Make Money series, and it is something that I will certainly be continuing to do, although maybe not quite so obvious from time to time. This, though, brings me through to asking what your favourite type of videos are. Do you like longer ones or shorter ones, or, you know, do you want full build videos? There are generally build videos for all sorts of things going on the internet these days, but things like chopping boards, tables, cabinets and what have you tend to be fairly run-of-the-mill, and everyone's got a million of them. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing some content that might be a little bit different, like I made some clocks for Christmas presents for people, and they're super easy to make. So something like that, or you know, if there's any other the builds of tools or racking or you know, things. Do you like things, as in things that you can use in the wood shop, or do you like to see build videos for stuff that you would put in your house more than your workshop? Do let me know on that one. Now that brings me through to sort of what's been going on with the channel, with some of the content that I've been posting. It's been a little bit longer on video format than I would have liked. However, I've taken you along the journey that I've had with things to understand how they work and to make things better. And for me, that's the sort of content that I enjoy watching, because it's good to see how somebody learns about something, and I don't for one moment want to pretend that I know what I'm doing a lot of the time. And so if you're seeing me working things out and you're a new woodworker, or someone with any sort of physical challenges or whatever like I have, then hopefully it gives inspiration, and the fact that you don't have to know everything from the outset. And also, some people are a bit worried about tools. I had my dad here earlier on today, and we made him a jig for his table saw, or sorry, not for his table saw, for his circular saw, so he didn't have to buy a track saw. He was super nervous about using a router. He's got one, but hasn't used it, and they're pretty dangerous things, and so understandably nervous about it. But what we did is we managed to get him using the router here. He got himself nice and comfortable with it, and everyone's happy. So now he can go home and use his router a little bit more, sort of with a little bit more knowledge than he had before he started. So that, I think, is fantastic. But it's that fact that you've got to learn as you go, and taking you guys along the journey with me is the sort of content that I would like to watch. But it does mean slightly longer videos, and yeah, I'd love to get your feedback about whether that's something that you're into, or whether you just want to see kind of a sub 10-minute build and keeping things sort of short and sweet, assuming that you know how to use certain tools and what have you anyway. Because I've noticed that's something that happens quite a lot. People kind of just assume that you know how to use a router, or you know how to use a table saw or whatever. So I don't want to teach you to suck eggs, but at the same time, I want it to be useful for beginners. Do you know what I mean? Right. Let me know your thoughts on that as well, please. We are pretty much getting to the end. So what is there coming up on the channel that you've got to look forward to? So we have, I don't know if you can see just here, there are 3 Ox Tools chisels, which I've not used yet. They sent me very kindly to do a review on, so I will do a review on those. I asked on a Facebook group what people would like to see when it came to a chisel review, and I think I've got that one sussed now, but unfortunately the thickness planer took up more time than I would have liked. So yeah, it is one of those things where I've kind of, things have taken longer than I wanted to do. And also obviously with the kind of Woodwork and Make Money series, I've still got the wood that the wonderful Wilton Griffith sent on, and I still think they're superb. I'll make sure that I leave a link for those guys down below if you want to get some kind of responsibly sourced wood for your own projects. They have got an eBay store as well, by the way. Anyway, so we've got that there we go, we've got that review coming up. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing a clock kind of thing. I am thinking about doing some sort of basic boxes or whatever else, but yeah, one of the reasons that I'm doing this vlog today is because I want your opinion about what sort of content you would like to see, and see if it's the sort of thing that gets my juices flowing, because it's certainly got to be something that we're both interested in. Otherwise, just final bits and bobs. I think oh, we got a box of whoops, we got a box of piano hinges. These 1 meter length piano hinges from Screwfix. Cheap as chips. Cheap as chips at the minute. I thought piano hinges were all super expensive, but turns out not. Worth getting, because for jigs and stuff. Right, have I got anything else I need to tell you? I don't think I have, but I do really appreciate everybody that's subscribed to the channel so far and that watches the content. Again, let me know if having this kind of informal vlog and a bit of a chat about things is something that you're into, or if you want to answer any of the other questions, like with regards to best tool manufacturer that you like for the cordless stuff, or whatever, then please do comment down below. I will try and make sure that I respond to as many comments as I can. And finally, thank you for keeping up with the sort of delay between videos, because of the way my spine is, as well as everything else that comes along with the fibromyalgia. It means the content doesn't happen as much as I would like, but it's you know, I do it when I can, and I hope you're into it. It's not something that I apologize for, and it's something that I want to normalize, because there are plenty of people with challenges, physically, mentally, or whatever else, that don't understand the benefits of something like woodworking, but also don't think that they have the time, or think, well, you know, I'm never well enough to do it, or whatever else, because a lot of the time you can find out just, you know, an hour here or there to do bits and bobs, and that's what I've done, and it's helped me no end. It really, really helps me, both physically and mentally, although physically I do tend to have a bit of a rest for a day or two after a build, but there we go, there is a thing. But thank you so much for hanging out with me, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Have a great day.